All right, let's talk about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, he cured the blind. He cured the blind. He took 1,000 blind people, you know what I'm saying? And he cured them. Now they can see. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's really quite simple, as crazy as that might sound as well. There's a certain blindness. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a medical professional, right? I'm completely ignorant to this type of stuff. But I watched the video, and there's a certain, medical condition that causes you to have extremely blurry vision. I don't know if it's cataracts. I don't know what the correct medical term is for it. But what I do know is that it's curable. And you can do this procedure. It almost looks like laser, like eye surgery procedure. So you can do this procedure and you can regain a large majority of your vision back. And Mr. Beast essentially took 1,000 people who are struggling with this, medical condition. He paid for their procedure, much like a laser eye surgery. And that was the video. And it's called 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time. Now, obviously, this is going to trigger some people. This is going to trigger the people who are religious. Because anytime you talk about, curing the blind and stuff like that, we automatically be thinking like, yo, is this dude trying to say he Jesus or something? He's trying to, he the Antichrist, he out here doing miracles. That's automatically what we think, right? And that's why it's so genius of Mr. Beast from a business perspective. From an entertainment perspective, you got to think about this. Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber in the world. He's one of the most successful business people in the entire world. He knows how to get attention. He knows how to get clicks. He knows how to get an audience and keep them watching and have them come back time and time again for more and more and more. His audience is addicted to his content. There's a reason why, because he knows how to do it. There's a reason why. So when I see videos like this, it doesn't trigger me, honestly. I don't think that he's the Antichrist. I don't think that Mr. Beast is demonic. I don't think any of that. I simply think that there's a lot of people who are misled, who think that just because you do something good means that you are good. Just because you pay for 1,000 people's cataract surgery means that you're a good person. Well, hold on. And here's the thing. This was a conversation I was having with my friend last night. Can people who are not saved, who do not know Christ, can they do good things? And initially I said, yeah, people who aren't saved can do good things. But then I said, wait, what is the definition of good? Because the biblical definition, the godly definition of what it means to be good is completely different than what we perceive it to be here on earth. It's completely different. And a lot of that has to do with the motives of our heart. What is the motives of our heart when we're going to do these good things? So for this example, he's healing 1,000 blind people, right? Is the motive purely just to help people who can't afford healthcare, who are struggling, who can't work because they can't see, who can't drive because they can't see, who are severely impacted by this medical condition? Is the only motive just to purely help these people? Or is the motive to create a product? By product, I mean a video that is marketable, appealing, attractive to mass amount of peoples, that will get clicks, that will get watched, that will eventually translate to ad revenue and brand revenue, and eventually translate to profit. Because ultimately that's the goal. And you really can't fault him because, look, he's not a Christian. He never said he was a Christian. He's a businessman. And he knows how to get attention, and he knows how to use an element of controversy in order to drive attention to his platform and ultimately to drive revenue to his business. The problem is a lot of people think that this is the ultimate example of what it means to be good, and that's just false. Because at the root of it, your motives are everything. God doesn't look at what you do. God's looking at your intentions behind what you're doing. He's looking at the motives behind what you're doing. if we look at let me show this verse. This is Matthew 6, verse 1 through 4. This is ESV, just, for example. This is from Taylor University. I don't know anything about Taylor University, so if it's some crazy stuff, forgive me. I just found this and I thought it was a helpful passage of scripture, and also a helpful commentary to help support my point that I'm trying to make. So let me read it to you. It says, and this is Matthew 6, chapter 1 through 4. It says, "Beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them. For then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you." Now, what does that mean, right? I thought this was an awesome breakdown. It says, Jesus is saying that if your motive for giving is to draw attention to yourself, then you are trading an eternal reward for a temporal one. It is not as important whether others know about your giving. It is important, however, to examine the motives behind why you made your giving known to others. That last part right there is so crucial. It is important, however, to examine the motives behind why you made your giving known to others. Why is Mr. Beast out here curing the blind? Well, it's because he's running a business and he's trying to find the most marketable, most appealing content and videos that he can put out to the public, so the most amount of people will watch it, so the most amount of people will contribute to the ad revenue and contribute to his bottom line and his business and his profits. And look, like I said, I'm not hating on the dude because I'm in the same industry. I do YouTube as well. I understand the game. Obviously, I don't do YouTube at the level that Mr. Beast does YouTube, but I understand the game. But the problem is, like I said, people see Mr. Beast and they say, I saw this one post on Reddit and it was like, surely after this video, Mr. Beast is going to make it to heaven. That's what somebody said on Reddit, something like that. And it's just like, it just further perpetuates the lie that good deeds will get you into heaven. Number one, like we just said, if your motive is not pure, then it's not actually a good deed. And you won't receive any reward aside from the reward that you receive here on earth. The praise, the clout, the money, the attention, the booming businesses. You can keep all that. You can keep all that because that's all that you're ever going to get if your motives are purely fleshly motives, meaning your motives are purely for what you can gain here on this earth. But if your motive is pure and you purely just want to serve people and to help people and to give back to people and make sure that people who don't have the finances to afford this surgery can get this procedure done, then you probably wouldn't necessarily feel the need to post about it. And look, it's okay to post about what you're doing in the community. If you're giving back to homeless people, if you're doing stuff like that, it's okay to post about it because maybe you need certain financing. Maybe you need to be connected to certain people that might help you further the mission. But in the case of Mr. Beast, I think he's become a master at gamifying giving back. He's become a master at gamifying giving back, to making it look like it's supremely good and coming from a place that is pure motive, when in reality, it's largely based on how successful can I make my business based on this video. And Mr. Beast even said it himself. They have entire, company meetings, creative meetings, where they go through all the best ideas to try to figure out what's the best idea that is going to get the most amount of attention. Not what's the best idea that's going to get the most amount of people, helped or out of homelessness, or, get them, food because they're starving, or whatever. But what's the most amount of, attention can we generate from this idea? And that's how they choose whatever idea to move forward to post a video. I mean, he said it in countless interviews. You can look it up. Now, like I said, he's not a Christian. He never said he was a Christian. He never said he believed in Jesus. He never said any of that. So we can't hold him to that standard. But for people who are looking up to him, who are thinking that this is the supreme example of what it means to be good, that's not the case. That's not the case. And, I was just thinking about this, and this is kind of random, but, there's a reason why these businesses, and there's a reason why people, they like to toe the line of Christianity, of Jesus. They like to kind of toe that line because it creates controversy and it gets clicks, it gets attention, whether it's negative attention or not. All attention in today's, day and age can translate to revenue because people are watching. It's eyeballs. Attention is the new currency. But the reason why they like to toe that line is just because of what I just said. It gets attention, it gets money, it gets revenue. But you never see these companies. Look at the biggest companies in the world, Amazon, Google, even look at Mr. Beast. I would consider Mr. Beast to be a very large company, a very large business, right? The one thing that they won't do is put Jesus at the center of their business. They'll never do that because that's bad for business. Jesus is not good for business, because the moment you start putting Jesus at the center of your business, people are going to get offended. Jesus is going to start asking you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And ultimately, it's going to affect your profits. It's going to affect your bottom line, because not everybody is okay with Jesus, the true Jesus that's in the Bible, because Jesus is challenging to our flesh. Jesus is not going to come into your life and just let you continue to live a sinful life without putting convictions on your heart. I mean, I wish people like Mr. Beast, for example, and this is just me being selfish, right? But as a Christian, as somebody who believes in Jesus, I wish that he would put Jesus at the center of his business, because just imagine how many people would be saved as a result of Mr. Beast becoming a Christian. And instead of him saying, oh, I cured 1,000 people from blindness, imagine him making a video where it's like, we got 1,000 people to heaven because they shared the gospel to people, and people accepted the gospel and they gave their life to Jesus. Imagine how much of an impact Mr. Beast could have if that were the case. But once again, these people, Mr. Beast, for example, they're not motivated by the same things that we're motivated by, which is God, which is sharing the gospel, which is getting people to heaven, which is, life in eternity with God. They're not motivated by that. They're motivated by what they can build here on earth. And just like the scriptures said, thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. All these people that you see that are doing these good works, that are giving back, that are using, these good deeds as a way to grow their business and to make money and to be entertaining, all these people, they've received their reward. They've already received it. Their reward is the attention, the clout, the money, the business success. That's their reward. But the ones who do it from a pure motive, our treasure is stored in heaven. And we know that heaven is eternal. Our treasure is not going to rot. It's not going to, rust away. We're all going to die. We can't take any of this stuff with us. So, like I said, I don't believe Mr. Beast is a demon. I don't believe he's the Antichrist. I don't believe any of that, really. I think he's a kid. He's 24 years old. I think he's still trying to figure things out. I think he is extremely good at what he does. And I think ultimately for him, it's a business and it's a game. It's not necessarily about how many people he can help. More so, it's more so about how many views can we generate? How many people can we hire? You know, how many businesses can we open? How successful can we grow this organization through the content? And it's neither good nor bad. It just is what it is. But don't sit here and think that it's just all good all the time, because as we learn through the scriptures, if your heart isn't in a pure place, if your motive is not in a pure place, no matter what you're doing, no matter what scale it is, because it doesn't have to be at a Mr. Beast level, you know, of giving. You could be giving $5 to a homeless person, but the difference is, are you, you know, recording that to post it on Instagram because you want other people to see you giving $5, or are you just giving the $5 just out of the goodness of your heart because you see that they're struggling and you want to help them? There's a difference. But let me know what y'all think. Get in my comments, subscribe, like this video. I'm out.